But something you brought up earlier when you were talking about blogging, when we were talking about daddy brain,
Hmm.
something important to share, I think, is that blogging is a really great way to get fresh content onto your site if you have the time. And this is something I talk about in the book, something I used to do a lot of workshops on because people get intimidated by blogging. But if you can get yourself to blog once a week, set aside an hour of time, just like you would to listen to a podcast, to talk with a client, and write something relevant for your audience, that can do wonders in upping your what's called your authority on
Hmm.
Google and other search engines like Bing, which we don't talk about.
Yeah.
And what that means is when you up your authority, you're basically upping your visibility, you're upping your search engine optimization prowess, for lack of a better word. But what we're saying in layman's terms is that you will show up higher in search results just because you're blogging.
Yeah, and there's a thing called blooking, which blog to book. So they write their book
Mm-hmm.
in the form of individual blog posts and then put them together and edit it later. So it
Yep.
doesn't seem so daunting to sit down and write a book.
Man, did you read my book? Because that's I talk about
No,
that.
I'm going. I will, of course, uh, and I was just thinking about Bing too. Bing, the one good thing about Bing is if you're trying to learn paid traffic, it's cheaper and you can mess up more. And if somebody does, it's still people that will see your ads. So
Right.
it'd be worthwhile to practice on, because if you jump into Google ads, oh boy, it's
Yeah.
more complicated every day. Seems like.
Yeah.
So
It can be.
so tell us about your book.
Yeah. So that's what I did. What you just mentioned. I knew I wanted to write a book, and I was overwhelmed by the thought of sitting down and writing it from page one
Mm-hmm.
to page 400, which is how long it is. So I did exactly what you mentioned. I started blogging on different topics.